everyone. Happy Victober to you, and welcome to part 5 of my very unnecessary ranking of 100 more Victorian books. We are now to number 60, and the first one is number 60 is The Vicar of Wrexhill by Francis Trollope. This was a book that it was just the wrong time for it. I went in thinking it was going to be another The Widow Barnaby, which is another book by Francis Trollope that I read and loved. It was very humorous and comical and just a lovely escape and just full of fun. And The Vicar of Wrexhill was much more hard-hitting than I thought it was going to be. And it was kind of just someone plotting to destroy the lives of other characters. And I was completely caught off guard, so it was more my expectations of the book. But her writing is phenomenal. I think if I kind of been in the mood for this type of story, I could have enjoyed it more. But it was just a case of the wrong time. Number 59 is Mr. Harrison's Confessions by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is one that, unfortunately, the miniseries Cranford, including the events in Mr. Harrison's Confessions, it just felt like reading a screenplay. Like I didn't feel like I gained more from the story having actually read it than I did witnessing how they adapted it into Cranford. So yeah, I thought I was going to really love it, and I ended up not really loving it, unfortunately. And it makes me really sad to not love something by Elizabeth Gaskell, because I've pretty much loved everything by her. But this was one that, alas, I did not. Okay, number 58 is Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. Now, I think I came out of Treasure Island. There's a lot of dust on the back of this. I came out of Treasure Island wanting to love every single thing that I was going to read by Stevenson. And I think that's just not a realistic expectation. I did definitely enjoy this. And I love this N.C. Wyeth art. It's just, I found myself pretty lost as I was reading it. So I think it's one that I would love to do actually as a read aloud with my boys. And I think they would really enjoy it. And then we could watch the movie all together. I think there's even several adaptations of it. But it's one that I hear enough people love that I think, maybe I should come back to this at another point. Okay, then we get to number 57, and this is The Black Robe by Wilkie Collins. So this was a Wilkie Collins that, as I was reading it, I was steadily enjoying it. I was intrigued as it was going on, but I thought, as I was reading it, this is gonna be forgettable. And I don't know what it was. It just, I find much of Victorian literature has quite forceful staying power that you find it unforgettable. And this is one and it was a really unique plot where there was, there's basically an evil priest who's bent on destroying the lives of these certain characters. And you kind of just are watching the events unfold and just hoping and praying that everybody ends up coming out okay. So it had, it's very different from a lot of his books, especially not all of it was set in England, which most of his books are set mostly in England. So I can't even tell you why it was forgettable. I just know, obviously, how many people have you heard talk about The Black Robe? But I saw the audiobook was on Hoopla, and I thought, ooh, I love that this cover looks so different. And then here we are, and I'm just saying it was not that memorable. So it was a really weird Wilkie Collins experience, because I typically either really enjoy or really don't enjoy his books. But this is one that I enjoy, but I thought, I think this is not going to be very memorable, unfortunately. Number 56. And that is The Pillars of the House by Charlotte Mary Yonge. This is very beloved amongst young fans. And I think it's just, there's other books by her that I have loved more. You're following this huge family. She loves to do stories about big families. And you are watching them over the course, I think it's maybe a decade. So I do love the notion of that. And as I think back on it, there are several really funny moments that I can still remember. There are some really sweet moments. One of the proposals in this is just one of the sweetest proposals I've ever read. So I came out of it being kind of resentful about how long it was, thinking, why did she have to make it that long? But the farther I get from it, the more I think, oh, you know what? There were some really great characters in that. So all of this to say that my friend Daryl, he is volunteering to read aloud The Pillars of the House for LibriVox. And so it just feels like a golden opportunity to give this book another chance. And hopefully, Daryl says he's hoping it will be like Middlemarch for me, which I really didn't enjoy all that much the first time that I read, and now it's just an all-time favorite. I hope that will be the case for Pillars of the House because, you know, like I said, as I think about it, there were some really special scenes that it's really fun to think back on them, and also some of the characters that I just very much loved. And that proposal scene is just so sweet. I've never forgotten it. So, Pillars of the House, I haven't given up on completely loving. It was one that I appreciated, but was glad to be finished with, and hopefully I'll feel even more positive about it having listened to the audio. Number 55 is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, I definitely enjoy most in the short story collections. So I just find it's just a really fun world to spend time in, and particularly in the autumn months, and to listen to Sherlock Holmes on audio in autumnal time is just really, really fun. It's a good time. So yeah, I feel very, very positive about The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And I'm curious what it's like to reread the short stories, because now I'm kind of out of short stories. I am considering reading The Final Problem. I'm intrigued. Let me know, Holmes fans. Like I said, I enjoy the short stories more than I do the novels, but the notion of The Final Problem I like. Coming in at number 54 is Two Sides of the Shield by Charlotte Mary Yonge. Now, this is a sequel to Scenes and Characters, and this one I enjoyed definitely more than I did Scenes and Characters. And the very frustrating main character in Scenes and Characters, you get to see her a lot older in this, and you get to see her with a lot more growth. So I knew I should have trusted Charlotte Mary Yonge to give substantial, just and beautifully told character growth. And so it's really cool to see these characters older and wiser and just with more life experience. And yeah, it was very rewarding to get to that one, and I enjoyed it substantially more than Scenes and Characters. Next is 53, and that is The Little Duke by Charlotte Mary Yonge. You can tell I just have been having so much fun exploring her catalog, and even this year I started to read some of her historical works, and it has been so much fun. So The Little Duke is about Richard of Normandy as a child, and it's just a really lovely short and sweet historical fiction novel. It is aimed at children, and so I think you don't have to feel intimidated by it then, and it's just a lovely little story. It's maybe not one of her more memorable things, but I know that I definitely steadily enjoyed it as I was reading it. It feels very slice of life, which is my kind of favorite kind of historical fiction. So yeah, really, really did enjoy it and want to reread it at some point. Number 52 is The Trumpet-Major by Thomas Hardy. This one really took me by surprise with how much I enjoyed it. It was definitely a soap opera. It is set during the Napoleonic Wars, and there is a whole love triangle happening. So you just have to buckle up for the ride. I know it's very hit or miss with people, this novel. I cannot tell you whether or not you're going to like it. But I was just there for the drama. I think I was just kind of eating up all the drama and enjoying watching it all unfold. And number 51, the final one on for this video, and that is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. This is a book that I was buddy reading it with someone at the time who was a very fast reader, and she read it in a week. And I wanted to keep pace with her. This is when I was newer to BookTube, and I wanted to keep pace with her. And I think it really did a disservice to my reading experience of Our Mutual Friend. So this was a Dickens that I thought, ooh, I think I could have liked that even more had I read it more slowly. So it's been one ever since I started reading, as soon as I finished it, I thought, oh, this is one I want to come back to reread. So I don't know when that will happen. I've been working towards getting to 200 Victorian books, not really allowing myself the luxury of many rereads. So this is one I want to see what I think trying it out again. I definitely liked it. The characters of Bella and Lizzie I found to be some of my favorite of his female characters. And just the whole setup for this plot I really loved. So yes, I will definitely be returning to Our Mutual Friend to see what I think about it in future. Okay, that was part 5 of an unnecessary ranking of 100 more Victorian books. I hope that you are enjoying this whirlwind through all these books, and I will be back with the next ranking video very soon. Bye.